that movies are for entertainment, for the people who basically want to, relax after they have their work. Movies are one of the things, apart from music, movies are one of the things we use to relax. But also movies can also be to learn lessons, to remind us of the things that are important. And Christian movies have set that purpose, all around the world. We've seen movies like War Room, we've seen movies like God's Not Dead. Even in Nigeria, the great Ultimate Power, most Christians will never forget that series running on television for a long period of time. And different groups within the Christian movie industry, producing different kind of movies every other week and every other day. We see different kind of movies out. And one of those groups is called NIBDRA, the Nigerian Baptist Drama Association, and they are with us in the studio. We're going to be looking at NIBDRA in focus. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
With us we have Benga Aweyemi, who is the president of NIBDRA. Also we have Dikin Adewoye Adeshola, who is the Secretary General of NIBDRA, and also Reverend Garubash John, who is the Vice President North of NIBDRA. Thank you all for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
For people who are still trying to understand what NIBDRA is about, I'm going to ask you, who is the president, to tell us about NIBDRA, how that group started, and why it started in the first place.
Thank you very much, my sister. NIBDRA is the Nigerian Baptist Drama Association. It is an association for drama ministers under Baptist churches across the nation. And the association was established, to be specific, Saturday, 16th of August, 2003, at Olivet Baptist Church in Oyo.
Oh, wow. So you are, by August, you were 14 years. Okay.
Yes. We were 14 years by August. So the association was inaugurated by the General Secretary of the Nigerian Baptist Convention, Reverend Dr. Ademola Ishola. Alongside with him was the Chairman Board of Trustee of NIBDRA. There is another association in Nigeria, we call them NIBDRA, All Nigerian Conference of Evangelical Drama Ministers.
That's the covering body for
the covering body for every drama minister in Nigeria. So the Chairman of Board of Trustee, Evangelist Mike Bamiloye, who happens to be the president of Mount Zion as well. So both of them inaugurated the association, NIBDRA, 14 years ago at Olivet Baptist Church, Oyo. And since then, the Lord has been helping us.
What was the vision of NIBDRA at the time it was inaugurated, and even till now? What is the vision of NIBDRA?
Yes, our vision is to help the members, to strengthen the drama group, the church drama groups. Like I said, NIBDRA is the Association of Baptist Drama Ministers. So that is the church-based drama group in Baptist churches across the nation. So our vision is to strengthen the members and also to help them produce quality films and even stage ministrations. Okay,
so part of that vision is to create, it's not just to strengthen the church drama groups, but also to make movies as well.
Yes.
Now tell us about some of the movies you've made. How many movies have you made so far, and what has been their impact?
Well, to the glory of God, this year by His grace, NIBDRA produced a very wonderful film titled My Testimony. And to God be the glory, by June 3rd this year, the movie won an award organized by GoFest at Jogo Center here in Ibadan. And we were the best gospel movie of the year by His grace.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. God bless you, my sister. Well, before that time, we have been trying and working on several film projects. God has helped us at a stage. We are able to have a film titled The King's Verdict by His grace. And we believe God by His grace, we are moving forward by His grace.
So you've produced two movies so far. Now, when you look at where you are today, and I'm asking you, who is the Vice President of the North, when you look at where NIBDRA is today compared to how it started, are you satisfied with what you've achieved, or do you think that, oh look, there's still room for more achievement?
Praise God, I can say we have achieved a lot. When we look back days back before. When we started, that's not how we are. But glory be to God, NIBDRA is going higher above where we are formerly. Seriously, when you look at even within our church's best drama ministry, now they are even coming up more than before. But now, we are even go above where we are. But we can say now, we are certain even above the limit where we have been before. So, praise God, I can tell you categorically, NIBDRA is going higher more than even before. Okay,
Secretary, tell us about the structure of NIBDRA. I can see that, okay, there is the president, there is the secretary, and then there is the vice president north, which is, you know, one would expect, the normal structure we know is president, vice president, secretary, you know, and all of that, but there's vice president north. What's the structure of NIBDRA, and do you run elections? How do you have your executives?
Thank you very much. By His grace, we run a Baptist-based structure. We have our national body, we have our NIBDRA at the conference level, likewise at the association and the church base. Well, the way we run it is that by His grace, every level have their cabinet. And at the national level, here we have the president, the vice president, and the 3 regions combined. We have the VP for each region. And there are others too. As you all know, in a ministry like this, we have to have a prayer coordinator, evangelism coordinator, the Bible study coordinator, the PR, and the likes. So as we operate it at the national level, so we operate it at the conference and the association level. Presently, we are running an election-based structure, but by His grace, our constitution is undergoing a review in which we are going to move down to a nominating system of having a cabinet in place by His grace.
Why nomination against election?
Well, for every system, there is always a weakness, there is always a strength. We have to weigh the two sides together. We discover we just have to follow the trend. We have to move with the way things are being run worldwide. So by His grace, in order to have a strong and a solid and it's a very perfect structure, that is why we have to move away from where we have started 14 years ago. By next year, we are going to be 15 years by His grace.
Again, I mean, wish you happy 15th year anniversary in advance. But let me, again, you are going to be 15 years next year, you're 14 years now, and you've made 2 movies so far, which means that you've made one movie in 7 years ago to split it, and that is not something that a lot of people would say it's commendable. What are the challenges, you know, that you have experienced so far that is limiting you from making more movies?
Thank you very much, my sister. Number 1, coming together as a national association has been a major challenge. But when we came on board, we felt it should be a yearly program. So by His grace, we'll be producing a movie yearly now. So this year, we are preparing for our next location against next year. As from now, just like we have it last year, so just like we have it this year now, we are preparing, we have the target to produce at least a movie per year, supporting with some other short movies that will be coming on board.
What have been the response of, you know, whether conference members or association members of NIBDRA so far? Are they supportive, or it's still a challenge to get them together? Anybody can pick that up.
All right, let me assist my president here. I mentioned earlier on that we are on a flexible structure, such that not only the national level, at the conference and association and church base, there are several NIBDRA films in the market by His grace. At every level, people are producing films here and here. But at the national level, being the national, by His grace, we are working on, like my president said, we are working on having it once or twice films in a year by His grace. You all know the worldwide, what we experience as regard the recession, the issue of financial challenges and some other things like that. But we are believing God helping us, as Nigeria is pulling out of recession, we will surely be in the market as a regular interval as God help us in Jesus.
Okay, you talked about financial challenges. How are you leveraging partnership at least for NIBDRA? We know that one man cannot go the journey alone. You need partners. So how are you leveraging partnership? It's within the Baptist Convention and outside of the Baptist Convention, VP.
By the grace of God, based on what my president says and what we have discussed, by the grace of God, we are not going to base our partnership only within Baptist Convention. We pray and then we solicit to have partners outside Baptist Convention, friends that we know, that they can be able to help us financially, spiritually, and otherwise, so that the industry can be able to move forward. because we cannot base only within the compound of Baptist Convention, because we have people, even they are our friends, outside Baptist Convention. So these are the kind of people we can be able to bring in to assist us so that this ministry or that the body can be able to move forward above where we are now.
Okay, let's now look at the drama or the Christian movie industry as a whole in Nigeria. Let's focus now on Nigeria. Would you say that when you look at the Christian movie industry today, that that industry has lived up to expectations?
We are still coming up. We are still coming up. The truth of the matter is that we have a long way to go. But the good news is that we have the courage and we have the strength to move. So where we are today is not where we're supposed to be. When it comes to the quality of production, we are just coming up. We are just coming up. Christian movies now we are using latest cameras, just like the seculars as well. So that is why I said we are just coming up. We are coming up now to meet up with the demand. Because we believe that the same audience that watches the secular films watches our films too. So they expected us to meet up with the seculars. And that is what we are trying to do presently, even in Christian movie.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We're still speaking with the NIBDRA executive on the whole of the NIBDRA itself. We're looking at NIBDRA in focus. We'll take a break now, and when we return, AM Live will continue. Do stay with us. Welcome. Thanks for staying with us on the program. We're still looking at NIBDRA in focus, and NIBDRA is the Nigerian Baptist Drama Association. We have the executive with us, we have the president and the president of Benga Awoyemi, and we have the Secretary General Dikin Adewoyin Adeshola and Reverend Garuba John, who is the Vice President North. Thank you for staying with us on the program. We're looking at the Christian movie industry before we took that break, and I'm going to stay on that topic. And you mentioned issues of quality production, and really when people hear quality issues around, when people hear Christian movies, the first thing that comes to mind is poor quality production. Not just, content can be okay, but quality production has always been poor. Now, what is NIBDRA doing to ensure that you don't have that kind of issue with with your movies?
Thank you very much once again, my sister. What we are doing is that we are trying to set a standard. And everyone can see that in our last production, My Testimony. No wonder the film came up with an award as the best ministry film of the year during the last GoFest, the Gospel Film Festival in Nigeria. Now, what we are trying to do is that this has been the complaint, that Christian films, they have message, but they are not interesting. So, why is it that a film will have a message, but not interesting? Number one, the sets, the cameras, the actors and the actresses, then the locations, the sound, the picture quality. And that is, all of that are what we are trying to work upon. That is what we are trying to improve on, so that we can maintain a standard. We are trying to set a standard and to maintain the standard. We want to meet up with what the seculars are doing. Even if possible, God is helping us, at least to be an example even unto those secular film producers.
Are we going to see a movie from NIBDRA that makes it to the cinema?
By His grace, we are working on that even on our next production.
To have a movie that, in terms of content, in terms of production, that can make it to the cinema.
Yes.
That's interesting. Now, Secretary, let me ask you, when you look at Nigeria today, with all of the issues, Nigeria is facing in terms of security, the economy, what role do you think that the Christian movie industry can play in the country at the moment?
Well, thank you, my sister. Well, what we are facing now as a nation is not limited to Nigeria, it's a global issue. And I want to say it, like the scripture says, Luke 1:37, that with God, all things are possible. Presently, by His grace, annually and occasionally as NIBDRA, We always have a get-together in which we pray and intercede for our nation. Like my president said, yearly we converge together, wherein we empower and train our members on how they can contribute their own quotas. In the course of our annual session, there are programs we packaged such that it exposes our people to what they can do on their own as an entrepreneur, how they can be a means of assistance to where their location, wherever they are staying, even throughout Nigeria. So we are trying to do that by having an empowerment session, even for our members. We have exposed them to how they can invest in agric. Not only that, the movie packaging too, we are trying to expose them to. By His grace, we are believing God. As God help us, by His grace, we are going to have a film village as NIBDRA in the future, such that things will be much more easier. We will contribute our own quota even to Nigerian economy and boost our international acceptance.
Okay, you mentioned that, but in terms of your movies, how can you use your movies at least to write some of the issues? I know that, of course, you mentioned issues around, you know, somebody has told you that you have the message but quality production. Now let's look at the message. How can you use your movies to write some of the ills in the society, especially in today's Nigeria, where, you know, so far we've had call for succession, so far we've had you know, we've had issues around economy, security. I know that, of course, you know, some of these messages are tailored, your movies are tailored towards, oh, let's make it to heaven, let's have a better relationship with God. You know, movies that help us have a better relationship with God, but they're also ills in the society. You know, how do you think you can use your NIBDRA and your movies, you know, to write some of these ills?
Thank you very much. The reason why we are producing film is to bring salvation, deliverance, teachings to our people. Recently, I was discussing with a sister, a lady of 19 years has not been taught about sex at all. I said, what is your mother doing? She said, all my mother teaches us is how to have a relationship with God, how to do this, how to do that. And if care is not taken, such a lady will be taught about sex wrongly outside. So from there, I caught a burden that I should write a story that will speak or that will teach the parents that there is need for them to teach their children on sex education. So that is one of the things we are trying to do. There are some things that are wrong in our societies that we can use our films to correct. We can bring corrections, we can bring teachings to people on things that are wrong, depending on what message is God giving us at a particular time.
Okay, let me ask you the VP now, because again, every region has its specific arrangements. I mean, in the West it's different from the South is different from the East, you know, different culture, different languages and all. But in the North, what is the acceptance of NIBDRA in the North?
We appreciate God seriously. In the North, there is a great acceptance of NIBDRA in the North, because no matter what we do, we can't stay away from it, because this is a Christian organization that is preaching good news, God message to every individual that is worth really to receive it. But in the North there, I can tell you categorically, NIBDRA is well accepted, because these only Baptist-based churches. So all the Baptist churches there, I can tell you categorically. Now we are trying even building a lot of things, even outside Baptist denominations. Some people are even coming, they want to join us, talk about the Living Faith Ministry, Redeemed, Roman Catholic, EQUA, because even in their own setup, they doesn't have something like that. But I can tell you now when we organize a seminar, they came, they saw something good in us. Now they said they want to partner with us. So I can tell you, NIBDRA is well accepted in the North.
Have you been making movies as well in the North?
Yeah, for now, we have people now, churches now producing movies in the North. I can tell you that. Now there is a movie we shot within our confine that we call it Who Will You Follow? In Hausa, Wazakabi. It's yet to be out by the grace of God, but I think most of churches now, they shoot films, quality films, not these kind of films, I can tell you now.
What is the acceptance, so what is the level of the acceptance of your movies in the North?
Yeah, I can tell you I can tell you, it's 80%. I can tell you now, our movies is well accepted. If the movie has message, there, then the people will accept it without grudges, without bias.
With the level of insecurity in the North at the moment, what is the willingness of your members to, do these movies, and how do you hope to use your movies to also pass a message in the North at the moment with what's going on?
No matter the insecurity, we trust in God, we believe in God. All the members there, they are willing to give their lives for the cause of God, for the cause of Christ. Now, we can go extra miles to do what we can do to win for the kingdom. So everybody there is willing to go extra miles to present everything that we want to bring people closer to God. So I can tell you there in the North, people are well willing, and even the movies that is out, they are well even willing to accept it. No matter the cost of crisis and whatsoever that is happening in the North, we can go extra miles to do that for the cause of God. Okay,
President, you have huge, I heard you talk about making movies for the cinema, you talked about having a film village. Those are huge projects.
Yes.
How do you hope to attract investors to NIBDRA?
Thank you very much. One of the major things we are working upon is to partners with investors, especially some companies in Nigeria that we can approach that will not go against the content of what we produce. As we are doing that also, we are not forgetting that we are Christian film producers. So there is a limit to who and who we can partner with. For instance, now, it's not possible for us to contact the Nigerian Brewery and said we want to partner with them. So we preach against drinking of alcohol. So we can't go to them and say we want to partner with them.
So the values of the company must align with that of NIBDRA.
That is it. That is it. So that is what we are trying to do. And we are also trying to partner with individuals that have visions for Christian drama. So that is what we are trying to do as an association.
Okay. How do you ensure, because again, when you look at the Mount Zion Faith Ministry, I just make a movie, in that ministry. Sometimes, and then you look at some other people who are making movies, sometimes the messages are repetitive. It just, that, okay, once you see it, you know where it's going, you know how it is going to end. How do you ensure that, you don't have that repeated message and then predictability in your movies?
Thank you very much. That is why we set up a committee at the national level, and we call them Film Project Committee, to screen our script. All of this we are saying started from the script. You have a script. One of the major problems we're having in Christian drama is this. I want to be the writer of the script. I want to direct. I'm the person to screenplay. I'm the producer, and I want to play the lead role as well. It doesn't work that way. So we are trying to, we have set up a committee. We call them Film Project Committee. After writing our script, send it to the Film Project Committee. Do what we call script conference on it. So if there is anything that looks like something someone has produced before, they will visit it. This thing looks like a film. This scene looks like a scene that I've watched in a film. So let's work on it, we remove it, replace it with something else that is better. So we have a Film Project Committee that is working on our script even before going on location.
Okay, and you have plans to start making movies every year. How do you also plan to ensure that, I know you have a Film Project Committee, but how do you also plan to ensure that, look, in the nearest future, your movies are not the same thing? You don't come to the point where your movies are the same thing. Secretary.
Yeah, well, I think my president has answered that. He said it, there is a committee that oversees, that screens the script. And everything we want to do in film industry started from the script, like you said earlier. So the moment we are able to work on the foundation, I want to believe, with God on our side, they will be able to get us films that will not be a repetition. And our God is awesome. Messages flow in. It is the work of the Holy Spirit. It is not by might, neither by power. Okay, tell us about your next project for NIBDRA. You have a movie out now, which is My Testimony.
Yes.
I'm sure, okay, now that's the movie that won the award, I'm sure right now that's passed. So what is your next project?
It's a big project. It's a very big project. I'm trusting God for the actualization of the project. We are working on the script presently, so I won't have a specific title for it now, but the working title is My Regret. So My Regret is the working title of the project. So it's going to be modern culture. So a village setting, then a modern setting combined together. It's a film that will be talking about Christian participating in politics. That the reason why we are where we are today as a nation is because those of us that are Christians are running away from politics. And if you are not there, you can't ask them what they are doing there. So we have to be part of it. We have to see to it. The team is going to be the team interpretation. The film is going to be the team. Is going to serve as the team interpretation for our next year convention, which says, moving forward, building a great nation through Christian effective participation.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. It's been a wonderful conversation with you, NIBDRA. We wish you all the best. And again, congratulations for your movies. We hope that you continue to win all of these awards every year as you make better movies. And we also look forward to seeing your movies in the cinema. I want to be able to say by next year, I'm going to the cinema to see a NIBDRA movie.
By His grace.
All right, and thank you so much for coming. It's been great having a conversation with you. We've been speaking with the Nigerian Baptist Drama Association, NIBDRA, on, NIBDRA. We've been talking about NIBDRA in focus, how it just started, the mission of NIBDRA, what they hope to have achieved in the nearest future, and they've promised us that we're going to see a cinema movie very soon from NIBDRA. Great work they're doing, but that's the much we can take on the program today. Thanks for watching. I am Precious Amayo.